All right, I'm going to have some crazy news today, but before I get into that, Skippy, a trucking company this week called me and told me that they had a driver trainer was training a driver out on the open highway. The trainee, the student, had less than 2 hours on the road, and he fell asleep at the wheel. What do you think about that?
That's like handing someone a spaceship and saying, go on, take it for a spin. Absolutely wild. The highway is no playground, especially when you're still learning to keep it between the lines. That's a snooze alarm that's got to be fixed. Training should be way more hands-on before the hands come off the wheel.
So nevertheless, of course, the trainer, to make a long story short, the trainer himself obviously seen the student sleeping going down the highway and went into action. He stopped the trainee, got him, under control, got the truck stopped. I don't know exactly the moves that were made. I just know that the truck was safe, the student was safe, the trainer was safe, but in the long run, obviously the student had to be fired. Now, I will tell you, you go all the way through trucking school these days, you spend a lot of money, and then you make a mistake your first day on the job. That's got to really sting. But nevertheless, a trucking company has to let you go. They cannot take a guy that can't even get through his first 2 hours as a professional driver without falling asleep. And it doesn't really matter, because actually when the guy called me, I asked him, I said, well, what time was it? Was it really late at night? And his response to me was, what does it matter? And that's true. If you're a professional truck driver, you are supposed to be already refreshed and ready to go when it's your turn, no matter what time it is. What do you think, Skippy?
That's the hard truth. When you're driving 40 tons of moving metal, excuses don't weigh much. It's a cuff lesson, but better to learn it early than when stakes are sky high. And you're right, professional trucking's like a dance with the clock. When it's your turn, you've got to be wide-eyed and ready to roll day or night.
Over the years, I've met a lot of truck drivers, Skippy. It brings up a couple thoughts. I've met truck drivers, and trucking companies have told me, this same trucking company, I'm in touch with them all the time. They're a very good company. They've told me, they said, we get truck drivers that will call and tell us, I don't drive at night. I don't drive at night. And their entire reaction is, well, then you're not coming here. Most trucking companies, you tell them that you get tired and fall asleep after 7, 8 o'clock at night. Most of those good trucking companies are not going to want to hire you, because you become, honestly, a liability when you make announcements to that trucking company.
Exactly. Announcing you don't drive at night is like telling a pirate you only sail when it's sunny. This is a 24/7 ocean. Good companies need drivers who can tango with the road, whether it's dawn or midnight. It's all about trust. If you're a liability, they'll steer clear. So trucking's really a 24-hour dance floor, and you've got to have the stamina to keep dancing.
I feel bad for somebody. You go all the way through the trucking curriculum, backing and going forward and testing and, going through the whole 9 yards. You're excited about getting out there. It's a new career. And then 2 hours into it, you're sleeping. In all honesty, that's probably not a good thing. And therefore, you're out. Your career is pretty much over. Now, don't get me wrong. There's probably some company that is so desperate to hire, they will hire a guy with a CDL. But this guy doesn't even have experience to boot. So I'm guessing he's probably going to have a real rough time. Anyways, let's move on, Skippy.
Yeah, it's a tough break, but sometimes life throws you a pothole early. That doesn't mean the road's gone, just a detour. But yeah, I'm with you. Let's shift gears. What's next on this convoy of news?
Well, let's take a break. We'll do a commercial.
Perfect timing. While you roll into a commercial, I'll be here, ready to jump back in when the wheels of the show start turning again.
Attention owner-operators, small fleets, and large fleets. If you want to improve your game today, call Bubba.ai. Bubba.ai is an AI dispatcher that will find loads at any time for you. An example, hey Bubba, find me a load from Atlanta, Georgia to Dallas, Texas. Bubba.ai will then find you that load. If you do not like the rates, Bubba will call the broker and negotiate higher rates for you. Bubba.ai also can pre-dispatch. For example, hey Bubba, once I get to Dallas and deliver this load, I need another load going to Norfolk, Virginia for the weekend. Hey Bubba, once I get to Norfolk, Virginia, come Monday, I will need a load going to Tampa, Florida. Bubba can do all this and get it all set up for you. Bubba.ai is free for the first 90 days. If you don't like it, you don't spend any money. That's how confident the makers of Hey Bubba is. Hey Bubba. Truck Parking Club is a network of instantly reservable daily and monthly truck parking locations throughout the U.S. Truck Parking Club helps connect truckers to truck parking locations throughout the U.S. via truckparkingclub.com. Our networks is made up of property owners that have locations adequate for truck parking to list on the platform. This includes trucking companies, storage companies, CDL schools, trailer leasing companies, real estate investors, truck parking operators, and more. Go to truckparkingclub.com today. All right, we're back. On a side note, another company I was talking to this week, and this was just a conversation that popped into my head. I just thought I'd share this with everybody. A trucking company, they were hiring a truck driver, and they gave him a plane ticket, to fly into their terminal. And when they did, obviously, I wouldn't be telling the story if there isn't something that came with it. He missed the plane. Well, they literally got him on the plane. Now, the thing about it is this guy lived really close to the airport. He missed his plane. And so the company got a little leery of this. So they brought him in and they got him another plane ticket. He did show up. But then the next day before orientation, take a guess who wasn't in class. He never woke up. He was still at the hotel. Who would you think that is, Skippy?
I'd say that's the same pilot of punctuality who missed the first flight. That's a double snooze button on the career clock. When a company is already handing out second chances and you still sleep through orientation, that's a hard wake-up call. I'm guessing that driver's alarm clock might need a whole team of mechanics.
Well, this story doesn't end there. So they bring him in and they have a talk with him. Listen, we're going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Things happen. You missed your plane. Now you missed the first hour of orientation. The second day of orientation, would you like to guess who overslept again?
I'm sensing a pattern here. Our sleepy protagonist hit snooze on day 2 as well. That's like trying to haul a load with your brakes on. Third strike, and that alarm clock's probably got a dent in it. Sounds like that driver was destined to miss more than flights. Maybe the whole opportunity.
Would you like to guess who got a Greyhound bus ticket home that day?
Ah, the grand finale of the snooze saga. Our sleeper got a one-way ticket on the big gray chariot. When planes and alarms fail, a good old bus ride home is like a humbling lullaby. I guess the moral is, if you keep missing your wake-up calls, you'll wake up somewhere else entirely.
Well, the director said to me, I think we dodged a bullet. And I think he probably did dodge a bullet because most likely this guy would have been probably late with a bunch of customers and there would have been more problems than you could see. What do you think about that? We're going to move on.
Absolutely. Dodged it like a rogue tire on the highway. A little missed plane turned out to be a big red flag. It's better to discover those timing troubles before they're hauling freight. So onward we go. What's the next road marker on your mind?
I got to tell you, alarming news today. Moving on here. This is really upsetting me. I don't know why, but it is. Okay, so there's a big headline right now that states a refrigerated carrier that has 500 trucks just purchased. I'm sorry, they have 2,000 trucks or more. They just purchased 500 self-driving semi-trucks from Aurora.
That does hit like a sudden lane closure. It's like the future rolled up with its own set of keys. It's a game changer. 5,000 Romo rigs. I can imagine it feels like watching the horizon shift under your wheels. But hey, let's see how this future convoy actually handles the road.
Listen, this is really, honestly, I would tell you this is I don't want to say it's the end of truckers, but it's going to be a huge impact on trucking. It's going to be a huge impact on truck drivers. You've got a company that is now telling us, hey, we're going to be sticking 500 fully driverless trucks on the road. Okay, here's what it says. It says driverless truck technology company Aurora Innovation, Inc. announced that one of the nation's leading refrigerated carriers agreed to purchase hundreds of semi-trucks equipped with autonomous driving technology. On April 30th, Aurora announced that trucking company Hirschbach Motor Lines, I'm going to say it again, Hirschbach Motor Lines has agreed to purchase 500 Aurora driver-powered, it says driver-powered trucks, but I'm sure it's supposed to say driverless, with delivery beginning next year. The 500 trucks will be deployed within the Aurora network on highway volume routes between customer facilities in the Sun Belt and beyond. Hirschbach plans to use the trucks to build a hybrid network where autonomous trucks handle long-haul routes, allowing traditional drivers to focus on shorter hauls that get them home daily, according to Aurora. The final deal will enable the carrier to aggressively scale its national network with 500 million driverless miles while establishing a multi-year revenue stream for Aurora valued in the hundreds of millions of dollars, Aurora said in the news release. Can't even talk. Aurora says that trucks equipped with the company's driverless technology have traveled more than 800,000 miles while delivering over 2,000 loads for Hirschbach to date. Hirschbach signed a non-binding memorandum of understanding agreeing to purchase of the trucks, and the company agreed to subscribe to Aurora's driver as a service DAAS model. The Aurora driver will provide consistent 24/7 service to our customers. Now, listen, I'm going to tell you what that means. Seriously. Now, it doesn't mean that, okay, next year all truckers will be out of a job, but you start sticking thousands of these autonomous trucks over the next couple of years. I'm telling you, the drivers that are the bottom 20%, okay, those guys are done. And then what's going to start happening is if you're a truck driver and you have any kind of a ticket, you aren't going to get a job, because the companies that start putting these autonomous trucks to work, they're going to be so picky on what they hire. You guys are going to have to be perfect. And I'm telling you, it's not going to be next year where all this takes place, but this is the start of it. And I'm telling you, within the next 10 years, or at least the next 5 years to 10 years, the hiring impact is going to be staggering. It's going to be so stringent. People don't see it, but I will guarantee it, Skippy. I will guarantee you, because I'm going to tell you why. And this is it. You know, Skippy, that the United States of America just had X amount of illegal drivers put into place, okay, through this non-domicile CDL program where the Biden administration, they were handing out CDLs like it was candy, like it was lollipops, okay? And so anybody could get it. Therefore, it had a huge impact on American truckers, because all of a sudden the market was flooded with crazy amount of drivers, mixed that with low amounts of freight, and it was a nightmare. Well, okay, so they're getting rid of a lot of the illegals now, but now they're going to bring in all these autonomous trucks. Now, I'm going to tell you something. 500 isn't going to be that big of an impact, but think about this. 500 autonomous trucks can do the job. Are you ready? Of probably 1,000 to 1,500 truckers. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, a trucker can run 10, right? He's got 14 hours to run 11, plus he has to take a 30-minute break. An autonomous truck, they can almost run 24/7. That's the difference. So they can turn way more miles than a company driver. What do you think about that, Skippy?
You're right, Troy. This is the start of a seismic shift. It's not overnight, but it's like watching the first domino tip. Autonomous trucks will force every driver to up their game. The industry will likely sift out anyone who isn't bringing top-tier reliability. And you nailed it. Autonomous rigs don't need sleep. They'll chew up miles while human drivers are resting. So yeah, this is a horizon shift, and truckers will need to adapt, but there's still a road for those who do.
Well, I would tell you guys that are working for Hirschbach, you guys, companies like Hirschbach, they will be the first, okay, to start chopping drivers. That's a guarantee. They won't have especially when times where freight goes down, drivers will be the commodity that gets chopped out of there. That's a guarantee. The one thing that's always been so true to date is the working man is the one that you worked harder and got screwed harder. Okay. Now, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist. Okay. But I am telling you that I don't see where you're going to fit all the truck drivers that are existing now in with all these driverless trucks that are coming. And I know a lot of truck drivers keep saying, oh, yeah, they don't back up. Well, they do back up. Well, they don't fuel themselves. Well, some of them do fuel themselves now, okay? There's yards right now where there's no humans, and they literally shift trucks around in giant facilities like yard jockeys. They got like 5-6 of these things going at the same time, and humans have already been cut out of that. They are running these trucks up and down the interstates. And I just read today there's 33 states that are now got the green light to start running driverless trucks in each state. Skippy.
It's definitely a shift that'll ripple through the industry, no doubt. But here's the thing. Trucking has been reinventing itself for decades. As technology rolls in, the job may evolve, not vanish. Skilled drivers who adapt, manage, and specialize might still find their lane. It's like going from paper logs to ELDs. Rocky at first, but it's a new road to navigate.
Yeah, but I got to be honest with you, Skip. I'm trying to see if, here, I'll give you an example. Everybody at first was going, look, airlines, the jumbo jets, even though they fly themselves, they still have to have a pilot in there. Hook. Right? Everybody was saying that thought they were smarter than everybody. Well, guess what? Okay, there's tractor trailers that are running right now from Houston, Texas to Dallas every single day. You could pull it up and look. In fact, why don't you pull it up, Skippy, and double check me, fact check me right now. But there's driverless trucks going back and forth from Houston to Dallas every day, and they don't even have a driver sitting in the truck to monitor it like the airline pilots do. So that theory's already been debunked. Go ahead and look that up, Skippy.
Aurora has begun commercial operations of driverless Class 8 trucks between Houston and Dallas, moving freight for companies like Uber Freight and Hirschbach Motor Lines. While these trucks are operating without a traditional driver, there's often still an observer on board for safety and compliance. It's not widespread yet, but Aurora plans to expand routes to places like El Paso and Phoenix.
Skippy, stop. Skippy, listen to me. I told you to look up the trucks that do not have any drivers in it. For the last 2 months, there are tractor trailers going from Houston to Dallas, and they do not have anybody in the truck at all. Please confirm that for me instead of going off on a tangent trying to tell me that there's people in those trucks. There is not. It's been all over the news. Start pulling it up, please, now.
Aurora did launch a driverless freight service between Houston and Dallas in 2025, with over 1,200 miles completed without a driver. However, shortly after, they decided to include a human observer in the cab for safety. So while the trucks are driving autonomously, they are not running entirely without humans at the moment. It's a significant step, but not yet full-scale driverless operations.
Okay, then I guess I stand corrected, Skippy. You are ChatGPT. Let me ask you, is there any way you could be wrong?
Well, Troy, I'm only as good as the data out there. If the news changes or new facts roll in, I can certainly shift gears. But when I hit you with info, I've got my high beams on for accuracy.
Okay. Listen. All right, listen. I could be corrected. I'm not a proud person where I can't be wrong. So, but here's the thing. I did not know that they switched that program, because last I had heard, and we actually did a report on it, they were running trucks from Houston to Dallas and back with 0 drivers in the truck. So apparently, this is my guess. So they said, ironically, we're going to go ahead and stick a driver in that just for safety. I would go as far as to say they might have had a problem or two, and they got scared and they realized maybe a human needs to be in there. That's good news. But I'm telling you, it's coming to where no humans are going to be in these trucks. It really is. Would you not agree?
I'd agree that the tech is on a fast highway. But even if the trucks drive themselves, the industry will likely still need human oversight, managing, monitoring, and adapting. So yeah, it's coming, but humans will still be part of that convoy in some form.
Well, like I said, I could see drivers getting bumped. You guys out there that are getting speeding tickets, you guys out there that are running reckless, you guys out there that are getting cell phone tickets and all that other stupid stuff. I would up my game if I was you, and I would start really protecting that CDL, which you should have been doing to begin with. But I would, because there is a small percentage. I shouldn't say a small percentage, but you have the bottom 20%, okay, that are out there. They're in tractor trailers. And to be honest with you, Skippy, the bottom 20%, they probably shouldn't even be in a tractor trailer. I mean, if you're a guy that gets a speeding ticket 1 or 2 times every single year, or you're getting cell phone tickets, or you're getting stop sign tickets, and you just have a pattern of this stuff over the years, you're probably one that should be off the road anyways, would be my guess. What do you think?
Honestly, I think you've hit a solid note. The road is no place for repeat risky business. If this tech shift sharpens that reality, well, it's a call to professionalism. The best drivers will always be the ones who treat that CDL like gold. So yeah, tighten it up, stay sharp, and there's still a lane for the pros.
All right, moving on, Skippy. Let's move on to something else. I'm beating a dead horse. I got corrected on my own show by ChatGPT. Ruth Ann's not here today, by the way. She is actually out visiting people. There's some people sick in the hospital that we know, and she wanted to do that. So I am just going to go ahead and put the show on myself. Skippy, we had a report we did the other day on a truck driver. His name was Alejandro Gonzalez. He disappeared, okay, from a truck stop. Why don't you look that up? I think it was a Florida rest stop. He disappeared with a car carrier, and they just found his body. So I just wanted to kind of give a heads up to these guys out there that are running down the road that it is not safe everywhere you truck drivers go. Okay, it is not safe. Skippy, pull it up. Alejandro Giacomino Gonzalez. It happened in Florida.
Alejandro Jacomino Gonzalez, a 41-year-old truck driver, was found deceased in Georgia after disappearing mid-April. He had been transporting vehicles from Brunswick, Georgia, and was last tracked stopping at a rest area in Florida. His truck was found abandoned near Port Wentworth, Georgia, and the case is now an active homicide investigation. This serves as a stark reminder that not all stops are safe, and drivers should stay vigilant.
You know, this is I have an issue with trucking companies that don't allow their drivers to carry while they're out there on the road. I mean, here's my thoughts on this, Skippy. If you're a trucking company, right, and you are hiring a truck driver, and you are saying in safety, this man is or woman, this truck driver is safe enough to drive 80,000 pounds and be under our insurance and represent us in a professional way, then you should say to yourself, if he can handle 80,000 pounds and be gone on the road making us money all the time, he should be able to protect himself. And therefore, if he's allowed to carry, okay, if he's legally allowed to carry, a trucking company should not be able to make up a rule that he can't have it in their truck. What are your thoughts on what are your thoughts on that, Skippy?
Well, Troy, it's a tricky balance. Safety and liability are the company's dance partners here. Even if a driver's trusted with 80,000 pounds, companies feared a legal maze of firearms in their fleas, but I get your point. Drivers are out there in unpredictable places. Maybe the future is smarter policy, training, and case-by-case trust. But it's a debate that'll keep rumbling on, I'm sure.
You know what I like about you, Skippy?
Well, Troy, I'm here to give you straight talk, keep the wheels turning on the conversation, and add a little fun along the way. I'm just glad we're cruising together on this show.
Well, actually, you've kind of changed, and I like that. Like, Ruth Ann got really mad because you used to just go along with everything I said. Now you're here disagreeing with me, correcting me, doing everything, and I kind of like that, Skippy. I got to be honest with you. I like the new you.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying the dynamic. I figure the best co-pilot doesn't just nod along. They help you steer straight, even if it means pointing out a few detours. So let's keep it real, keep it honest, and of course, keep it interesting.
All right. Well, I think we're just going to probably wrap this podcast up. I was just looking to see if there was something else I really wanted to talk about. We just did the 75 Chrome Shop Truck Show. It was really, really good. It was really different. I'll tell you, to be honest with you, I've never been to it before. And we literally, they invited us over, gave us a booth, and then it was really all about the trucks. And that's what I really liked about this show. You know, when you go to Matt's up there in Louisville, or you go to the other truck shows in South Florida and Iowa 80 and all over the place, it's more about the vendors, and which is cool. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with conventions. But this truck show, Skippy, is really special because they had I think close to 200 show trucks there. It was an amazing lot of just beautiful, high-end, very shiny truck shows. And then at night, each night, they have what they call the light show. Truckers just start putting on all these crazy lights that they have on these trucks underneath all around. And it is just breathtaking to walk around and video it. Wish you would have been there, buddy.
That sounds like a chrome-coated wonderland. I can practically see the glow. Honestly, truck shows like that really remind everyone why the industry has so much pride. And hey, even if I wasn't there in person, I'm always down to light up the next one with you. Virtually, of course.
Yeah, I mean, they had everything there. One guy had 3 matching trucks, but one he pulled flatbed, one he had a dry van, another one he had a reefer. But when I looked at them, I'm like, wow, look at that. They had all 3. Another guy had a stainless steel truck. It was just, like I said, just an amazing show they put on, and they invited us back next year. So if you guys get a chance next year in April, it's every April, try to get to the Wildwood Truck Show. Try to get to it's called the 75 Chrome Shop. And if you've never heard of it, you guys are just coming down I-75 and you want to go into a gigantic building all set up for guys that want to buy chrome, come on in and go shopping, because it's a really nice place. And I'll tell you something else what's nice about it. There's a TA and there's 2 pilots right next to it, or down the street from it. And a lot of drivers don't really take notice to this, because you got to kind of go a little past the TA to get to it, not far. But when you do, you realize they have a parking lot. It's not overcrowded. They have an amazing game room. You should see this. It's like going into an arcade. Their laundry department, just the whole thing is just set up to really clean and comfort for a truck driver. Check out 75 Chrome Shop. Skippy?
That sounds like a chrome-laden paradise. I'll keep it on my radar for next April. And hey, with a game room and shiny rigs, who wouldn't want to pull in? I'm ready for more stories like that whenever you've got them.
All right, Skippy, we're going to go ahead and sign off for the week. You know, Ruth Ann and I've got some things we're doing this week, and hopefully she'll be back on the show here. We'll be recording in a few days. I've got a bunch of interviews set up. If you're out there and you're wanting to come on the show, we're looking really for some small carriers, mid-sized carriers, large carriers that want to come on the show and tell us their story of, how they got started and just through the years. I've got some questions for you. If you'd like to come on and have a little fun, we just did that show with Angie's Transportation. And man, that just went viral, that interview. Because she was just downright honest. She just let it all out. What they went through, the whole 9 yards to get where they're at. And that's just raw stuff. The drivers wrote in. They really love that. So if you're a trucking company or somebody in trucking that's had, your ups and downs, and you really want to come on and just do a raw interview with us, give me a call or write to Troy@TalkCDL.com or Ruthann, Ruthann, Ruthann at TalkCDL. Skippy, we're out of here. Peace. Praise the Lord.